Myself, I am Dr. Rajendra Konda from Srimati Veeramma Gangasari Degree College for Women, Kalburgi. So, today we will discuss regarding the JK flip-flop and master slave JK flip-flop. JK flip-flop. A JK flip-flop is a sequential bi-state single-bit memory device named after its inventor by Jack Kill. So here this is the block diagram of a JK flip-flop having the inputs J, K with the clock pulse and the outputs Q and Q bar. Q and Q bar are always complementary to each other. So here you can find the two JK flip-flops. One is the positive edge triggered JK flip-flop, negative edge triggered JK flip-flop. A positive edge triggered JK flip-flop is one when the clock pulse moves from low state to high state, then the output will change. If the clock pulse is moving from high state to the low state, then if there is a change in the output, then this is called as negative edge triggered. And here a bubble is represented which indicates it's a negative edge triggered clock JK flip-flop. A JK flip-flop is a refinement of the clocked SR flip-flop where the indeterminate state of the clocked SR type is defined. Input J and K are respectively the set and reset input of the flip-flop. So this is a logic diagram of the JK flip-flop. You can see here that there is a feedback mechanism wherein the output of the Q is taken as the input of one of the NAND gate. Similarly, the output of the Q bar is taken as a feedback and is connected at the inputs. Now let us see the working of the JK flip-flop. Here J is equal to 0, K is equal to 0. In the truth table it is specified here. Now let us have the condition, that is the arrow mark here, which indicates we are taking the possibility of J is equal to 0 and K is equal to 0 with Q of N is equal to 0. The Q of N is equal to 0 is represented here. Naturally the Q bar will be equal to 1. So as Q is equal to 0 will be the feedback and is going as one of the input of the second NAND gate. Q bar is equal to 1, that will be going as a feedback and is becoming the input of the first NAND gate. Here as J is equal to 0, feedback is 1, clock is 1, one of the input is low, therefore the output is high. And in the second NAND gate, the feedback is 0, K is 0, clock is 1, as one of the inputs of the second NAND gate is 0, therefore the output is equal to 1. Here the Q is equal to 0, which will be the feedback for the fourth NAND gate. For the fourth NAND gate, one of the input is low, therefore the output is high. And this will be the feedback for the third NAND gate. Both the inputs are high, therefore the output is low. So the previous output was also 0, now also it is 0. That means there will be no change. There is no change when J is equal to 0 and K is equal to 0, which is shown in this table also. That is when J is equal to 0, K is equal to 0, Q of N if it is 0, then the output will remain 0 only. If it is 1, that will remain 1 only. That is, here J is equal to 0, K is equal to 0, clock is 1, there is no change. And here we can also see that when J is equal to 0, K is equal to 1, here this is a reset condition, therefore the output will become 0, 0. Here it is represented as J is equal to 1, K is equal to 0. It is set, J is equal to 0, K is equal to 1, reset. The last state, which is very important, that we are going to see it in the next slide. That is when J is equal to 1 and K is equal to 1. So here arrow mark is shown, J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, Q of N is equal to 0, Q of N is equal to 0 we are taking here, and that will be the feedback for the second NAND gate, and the Q bar is equal to 1, that will be the input for the first NAND gate. So here as the condition J is 1, K is 1, therefore the first NAND gate having the inputs 1, 1, 1, all the inputs are high, therefore the output is low. And for the second NAND gate, one of the input is low, therefore the output is high. Now for the third NAND gate, as one of the input is low, therefore the output will become high. And that will be the feedback for the fourth NAND gate. Here both the inputs are 1, 1, therefore the output will be low. And here we can see that 0 has converted to 1. And we assume that it will remain stable, but unfortunately because of the feedback mechanism, the 1 of the Q will be the input for the second NAND gate and the 0 of the Q bar will be the input for the first NAND gate, and again we see that the output will change from 1 to 0. So we see that the 0 will become 1, 1 will become 0. This will not remain stable because of this feedback mechanism. That's why when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, then the output of the flip-flop switches to its complemented states and is not stable. This condition we are going to call it as race around condition. So if you want to see the form of a clock pulse, that is the positive edge triggered clock pulse, TP is nothing but it's the time of the clock pulse, width of the clock pulse. So J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1. A timing problem that known as race around condition arises, which can be explained by the following diagram. Here, when the clock is applied after the propagation delay, say delta t, the output will toggle and now the output will be 0. If delta t is less than Tp, then after the delta t, the output Q will again toggle and will become 1. That is, during this width Tp, the delta t simply changes. As a result, the output will change from 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0. Thus, the output will oscillate between 0 and 1 within the Tp interval. So, at the end of the clock pulse Tp, the output will be ambiguous. This condition is called as race around condition. Here, we can see the race around condition in this timing diagram of the positive edge triggered JK flip-flop. Here J is the input, K is the input, Q is the output. Here the clock pulse is applied. Here let us see this state where Q is equal to 1. Now we will have J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1 and a positive edge trigger clock pulse. Therefore the output Q, which was 1, will become 0. Again, during the next clock pulse, during the positive edge triggered, J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1. As a result, that output will toggle. Therefore, the output which was 0 will become 1. Thus, we can see that 1 will become 0, 0 will become 1, 1 will become 0, provided the J is 1 and K is 1. Therefore, the output is not remaining stable. This we are going to call it as race around condition. The master-slave JK flip-flop overcomes this race around condition, which we are going to see it in the next slide. This is the master-slave JK flip-flop. Here, master-slave JK flip-flop are the cascade combinations of two flip-flops, among which the first is designated as the master flip-flop, while the next is called as slave flip-flop. The master flip-flop is triggered by an external clock pulse, while the slave is activated at its inversion. That is, if the master is positive edge triggered, then the slave is negative edge triggered, vice versa. This means that data enters into the flip-flop at the leading edge of the clock pulse, while it is obtained at the output pins during the trailing edge of the clock pulse. Hence, a master-slave flip-flop completes its operation only after the appearance of one full clock pulse, for which they are known as pulse-triggered clock pulse. Here, you can see that master part and the slave part. The feedback which we are taking from the Q is towards the input of the N2 NAND gate of the master. Similarly, Q bar feedback is taken at the input of the master's part. Clock is applied and for which a NOT gate is connected and is connected for the slave. So, it is evident that the slave is driven by the output. The slave part is driven by the output of the master's M1 and M2, which is in accordance with its name master-slave flip-flop. Further, the master is active during the positive edge of the clock pulse, due to which M1 and M2 changes. their states depending upon the value of j and k. However, at this instant when the clock is positive, as it is connected to the NOT gate, it will become 0 and is connected for the slave part. So, however, at this instant the output of the overall system remains unchanged as the slave will be inactive. That is, during positive clock pulse, that is when the clock is 1, master is active, at that time the slave is inactive. Similarly, when the clock is 0, the master is inactive but slave is active. So, with the example, we will discuss this one. So, it is seen that the outputs Q is equal to 1, Q bar is equal to 0. The 1 is represented by the blue line and 0 is represented by the black line. As the clock is 1, the master part is active and the slave part is inactive. The output of master is 0 on the top. 0 on the top. Here you can see this one. Master output 0. And 1 at the bottom. But it will not proceed as the slave is inactive. At this instant, the slave output remains latched or unchanged. Thus, the race around condition problem is solved. When the clock is made 0, the master becomes inactive and slave becomes active. Then the final slave output changes its state from Q is equal to 1 to 0 and Q bar is equal to 0 to 1, and the same will appear at the input. But it will not proceed as the master is inactive and the output remains stable. Thus, race around condition problem is solved. Thank you.